I've been working from home, I've got a closing position, and I am just so overwhelmed. I'm having trouble keeping up. Have you ever felt that way? We're going to talk today on how you can manage your time better as a closer or anybody who works from home, really. I'm Stratton Jr, Godfather of Sales. I have been closing from home full-time since March of 2019. If you'd like to know a little bit more about what we do, you can definitely click the link down below, get into the Facebook group, get to know us a little bit, see what we're doing. If you like the information you're getting here, please click that like button. It really helps the channel out. Subscribe, click the little bell, get notified when new videos come out. Let's get into the information. When you start working from home for yourself, time management becomes imperative. You have family, you have other things going on, you have an influencer to work with, training meetings to go to, scheduled calls to deal with, friends to go out with. There is so much going on in life that you now have to manage yourself. It's not just come, clock in, do this job, and then leave at this time so you can do whatever you want. You've got to be your own boss in this. So a couple of things that you can do to be more efficient with your time. First and foremost, use a calendar. All right, now, I don't mean just have a calendar with your calls scheduled on it. All right, I mean have your calendar laid out with everything you're doing throughout the day as best you can. My calendar specifically shows workout times, times when I'm stopping to eat, break times to stop and play a video game or watch some TV for a minute. I've got time scheduled for when I'm taking a break to go do whatever chores or running that I need to do. I mean, we've got a life, we've got things to do, but it needs to be scheduled. This helps a lot in keeping your mind where you need to be. When you've got it on the schedule, when you know at this time, this is what I'm doing, you can relax, let go of the other stuff that's going on, and focus on what you're doing. And when that time's up, finished or not, you move on, which is tip number 2. Quit overstacking your time slots. Right? So many people will say, okay, I am going to get this done in this amount of time. And then they get there and they're not done yet. And so they stay until they complete it, and it pushes off the rest of their day. Stop. Go by your time, not by your project. Now, this is, again, situational. There are some places where, yes, I understand you need to finish and just, complete it because it's got a deadline or there's time to it. But for the most part, you need to just cut off. When the time's up, come back to it. Reschedule some more time for it tomorrow to finish up and move on with your schedule. I see a lot of people do this with their calls. They schedule them too close together, and then one call bleeds over into another. It took too long, and now all of your calls are, late for the rest of the day, and they progressively get worse. It can just mess everything up. This can happen the same way with a project that you're working on. If you've got to send out, emails as follow-ups, and instead of saying I'm going to do follow-ups from this time to this time, and you just say I'm going to do this number of follow-ups, and you keep pushing until that number's done, you look over at the clock and you're 10 minutes late for your next call already, you're not managing it right. So use a calendar, get it on your schedule, and start sticking to the time slots that you give yourself for that project. And then number 3, set an alarm. Set alarms for everything. Now, Google Calendar makes it really simple to get an alarm or a noise or a notification on your phone, whatever it is, whatever time limit you want notified on. It defaults to 10 minutes. It'll send you an email and a pop-up message 10 minutes before your next event. Use that. It is a tool. A lot of people just shut those off and they never let them go, and then they wonder why they're missing things. Well, if you can be warned while you're doing your follow-ups, hey, you've got 10 minutes till your next call, you can finish off that 1 or 2 last messages and then get prepared, get your mind where it needs to be to get on that sales call. So use your alarms and notifications to their best advantage. You follow these 3 things and I promise you will not feel as overwhelmed. You will get into a pattern of doing things, and you'll be able to focus on what your task is at that time without the concern and the worry about the other things you've got to do. I'm Stratton Jr., Godfather of Sales. We'll see you in the next one.